everybody, and welcome back to AlexElliottGolf, and welcome to the channel if you're a brand new viewer. Don't forget to subscribe and give all this content a thumbs up. So today's video is talking about the real reason why you're not improving your golf, and for me this all comes down from kind of the way we practice. So we've all had a lesson, we've gone off to our coach and we've worked on a really good thing, we've hit it great in the lesson. So for example, if what I was going to be working on at the moment would be trying to feel like it's wide on the way back and wide on the way through. So I've applied that, I can apply that in the lesson, and my attention for that 30 minutes in my lesson is really high because I'm wanting to impress my coach for one, and secondly, I'm in a controlled environment where I'm being told what to do. So if we then take that to the driving range ourselves, we find it very hard, especially throughout the whole session, we may have periods where it's good, to actually make sure that we're practicing on what we're doing actually has a benefit. So for example, we may go straight afterwards and hit some balls, we find it very hard to actually hit it as good as we did in the lesson. Now for me, the reason for this is, it's how we structure our practice. So what we need to do here is, you can see on the floor here, I've got 4 golf balls, and I've specifically done this in a different colour. I know everybody can't do this. So what I've got here is, I've got what I call kind of my technical mix to my shot shaping mix. And I would set these in sets of one set of 3 and a set of 1 next to it. Set of 3, set of 1. And I'd formulate my session this way, and I have periodic breaks in between, and I'll explain why in a second. So these white balls symbolise my drills. So for example, I'm trying to feel wider and wider. So I'd symbolise whatever drill my coach told me to do in these 3 balls, I would do these 3. I'm not reacting to ball flight. All I'm looking for is that specific feeling we worked on in our lesson. Then my final ball is, this is kind of my yellow ball, what I'm going to call the game ball, is actually the shot I'm going to hit on the golf course. So for example, I like to see a nice high fade. This is a shot here with this yellow ball, which will be specifically what shot I'm going to hit on the golf course, trying to use those feelings that we've taken from the drill ball, but more specifically be focused on what we're externally bothered about is where that ball's gone, to make sure we're picking a target and got an actual result and a consequence to our actions. So just to explain why I think, for me personally, this 3 to 1 kind of set really works, is that if we talk about kind of our arousal levels when we practice, we get to the start of our practice session for the first kind of 10 minutes on our driving range, it's great, we're happy to be there. And our shots are really good because 1, we're happy to be there, 2, we're actually enjoying what we're doing. As soon as we kind of get kind of 15 minutes in, our arousal level starts to drop. Therefore then, our performance starts to drop because we don't actually hit some good shots. We start going, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Was that what the coach was telling me? Was this what he was telling me? And as soon as we get to this point now, our performance really starts to kind of fall off a cliff. Our arousal drops, our performance drops, and ultimately those balls towards the end of the session don't really have an impact on what we're working on and how we're working to improve our golf out on the golf course. So what this does is, this really gets your attention for a specific kind of 5-10 minutes. We leave it for 30 seconds to a minute. We come back. I'd much rather say less is more. Quality over quantity is exactly how I get my students to practice away from lessons with myself. So let's run through this now. So we talked about really trying to keep this arousal level high to make sure our performance in practice stays high, so we can actually make some really good improvements on the range and apply them out onto the golf course. So I'm going to talk through now my feelings. So I said to you that these 3 white balls are me feeling like I'm going to try and go wide and wide. So the drill I really like to work on is this halfway back to halfway through. I'm really feeling like this width of my swing is as wide as possible. So I'm going to do this 3 now. So again, I'm not bothered about where this ball goes, I'm more bothered about the feelings I'm trying to create. So wide, wide, nice feeling. And then go number 2. So for me, these don't really matter how quick these ones go or don't go. What I would say is have a few practice swings in between them, not just kind of hit them off like a machine gun fire. So now we're going to go, what's the feeling I'm looking for? Width and a rotary move. I like that one there. Really nice, that one. And then I'm going to my final, what we're going to call our drill set. Really trying to work on that feeling. Really nice, that one there. So for me there, the quality of those 3, yes, the ball flight wasn't important, but the feeling I got, the strike I got was exactly what I was looking for in terms of how I'm going to improve my golf. So now you can still see I'm really aroused here. I've got my point where I'm actually really interested in what I'm doing now. I've hit 3 really nice shots. Now I've got one, which is our game ball, what we do on the golf course, our realistic environment. We're picking a target, we've got a consequence, and we're playing a shot like we would out on the golf course. So like we said here, is we're trying to make sure our arousal stays high, so our performance stays high, so one, we remain interested, but also we make those improvements so we can see them out on the golf course. So the final ball now, this is what we're going to call the game ball, and what we're really going to try and do here is, I go through my full pre-shot routine. So if I was on the golf course, I'd ask myself, what shot do I see? So I'm going to use this target straight in front of me here. I know you can't see from the camera angle here, but it's straight down my ball's target line from where I'm stood. So I'd say, what shot do I see? I see a nice little fade, and straight away, once I ask myself that question, I'm very descriptive in what I can picture in my head and what I can picture. It's almost like we've all seen the Shot Tracer app. Can we recreate that in our mind to get a clear image, and hopefully we make a swing to match that along with those swing feelings that we have from our coach? So, what shot do I see? I see a fade, right, okay. I have two practice swings, one feeling wide, wide. That's my drill. Then I'm going to hit this one. Picture the shot from start to finish. Right, okay, now I've done that. Into the golf ball. Few waggles. Hit the shot. Really nice high fade. So now I've done that set there, I can look back on that and say, right, I had 3 quality drill shots and I had a quality final shot. So straight away, my arousal is still high because I'm actually excited about what I've done. But also, I'm taking some confidence from there and saying, well, actually, the stuff I did in my drill section is actually working. And now I'd take a little kind of 2-minute break, have a coffee, have a sit down, check your phone, and then come back and do that set again. So instead of getting your 50 balls at a range now, let's get 30. Set your sets out here 3-to-1 ratio and really see your performance in practice improve, and ultimately your performance out on the golf course. So the moral of this story is, whatever you're working on with your coach, separate it from a different ball which gives you a shot out on the golf course. Let's not just stand there drilling after drilling after drilling, because straight away we get into a golf course environment. One, the practice we've done is probably not as quality as it could be, but 2, it's then very hard to apply that out onto the golf course. So if we structure our sessions correctly, keep our arousal high, not just stood there battering one after one, see our performance drop, our confidence drop, and ultimately the work we do at the end of the session not really having any impact on our golf game, then if we can flip it on its head and actually have the whole session, or majority of the session, it's very hard to have the whole session, but the majority of the session has a really big impact on our golf game, then we're really taking some confidence and some quality out onto the golf course. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, formulate your practice, and comment down below, do you like the 3-to-1 ratio in order to help you improve your golf? Remember, you can apply this to whatever you're working on with your coach. It's nothing specific. I just said here, my feelings are wide and wide. Yours could be working on a position in the backswing. Yours could be a position on the way through. Whatever that may be is, separate them out. 3 drills to 1 actual shot. Make sure you go through your full routine. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time on Alex Elliott Golf.